Comparing Medicare Supplement Plan G versus Plan N and what might be best for you. Hello, I am Kevin Knaus, an independent health insurance agent in California, and I work with people to find the best Medicare plans for them. And oftentimes, many people would like to stay with Original Medicare because it offers a large network of providers across the country, and wherever they happen to be traveling, they should be able to find a doctor or provider that accepts Medicare. But one of the other things that people are concerned about is the cost sharing of Original Medicare, and it doesn't have a cap on it, so it can kind of get out of control real quick with a chronic illness or even a hospitalization. So people look at the Medicare supplement plans or the Medi-Gap plans to get some protection against some of the Original Medicare cost sharing. And so when they look at the table for the Medicare supplement plans, it's like, oh my gosh, all these different plans and they cover different things. It's like, oh, how do I make a decision? And so that's where we then sit down and kind of review what the person is trying to achieve. And oftentimes people want the highest level protection. And for individuals that turn 65 after January 1, 2020, Plan G offers the best cost-sharing protection of Original Medicare cost sharing because it's going to cover everything except the Part B deductible. But then you look at the N and it's like, oh, that's very similar, but there's some co-pays on there. So once we stripped out all those other plans and we put them side by side, they look, okay, well, how do the rates look and how is this all going to work in reality? So hospitalization, inpatient hospitalization. If you're admitted to a hospital, Plan G will cover 100% of that $1,676 copayment for the first 60 days, as will Plan N. Skilled nursing facility, Plan G covers 100% of it. You pay nothing. So does Plan N. Outpatient, now that's where things get a little bit different, and of course most of the Medicare services that we use are outpatient. Now both G and N require the Medicare beneficiary to cover that $257 deductible. So it's the same there. It's after you have met the deductible that things change a little bit. For an office visit under Plan G, it's $0. And if you visit the emergency room, not admitted, $0. Plan N, if you visit your primary care physician, it's a $20 copayment. And if you visit the emergency room but are not admitted, it's a $50 copayment. Well, that's kind of odd. Foreign travel emergency coverage, both of them cover that. The Plan G covers the Part B excess charges, but the Plan N doesn't. And I haven't seen excess charges in California. That doesn't mean that they don't occur, but I just don't see them very often. So what I did to kind of compare the rates is I took 4 carriers that I represent, and the rates are, kind of on, they're all competitive. Some are a little bit lower, some are a little bit higher, but I took those 4 rates for different ages and then I averaged them because I didn't want to compare just one specific carrier. So with the average rates, you can see at age 65, and this is California, Los Angeles zip code 9001, and the rates are going to be kind of similar across California and within other states in terms of being relative, because there are different zones within California. But at age 65, Plan G averages $198.38, Plan N $185.11. Now, one of the things that is confusing when I'm preparing quotes for people is that many of the carriers offer a new to Medicare discount of between $25 and $30 per month for the first 12 months. So if we apply the $25 new to Medicare discount to the Plan G, that makes it $173.38. Well, that's lower than Plan N. Well, that sounds like a good deal. And it is, definitely for the first year. And you know that the next year, when the plan renews, you're going to get a $25 increase to the rates. Now, most of the Medicare supplement plans, they will increase the rate by age every year and sometimes every other year. All of the plans will oftentimes apply an inflation adjustment, and that can range anywhere from 2 to 4% depending on what's going on with original Medicare. And I didn't factor that in because you just don't know how that's all going to work out. But for the rates for 2025, you can see that Plan G after that, with no new to Medicare discount, is consistently higher. And that makes sense because under Plan N, the member is shouldering slightly more of the cost sharing for their health care services. But what does that look like on a monthly basis? What is the difference? Of course, age 65 is a little bit different because you have that new to Medicare discount, and that new to Medicare discount doesn't have to be at age 65 if you've been working and maybe you're 68 or 70 and you leave your employment and then gain Part B. That's new to Medicare, and you can get that discount too. But I'm just using 65 at the moment. And without that new to Medicare discount at age 66, so no extra special bonuses there, $12.97 per month. But you can see that Plan N is consistently lower, and as you get up to age 76, you're talking about $25, $26 per month difference. Now, again, these are average rates. Some carriers will be lower, some carriers will be higher. But what does that extrapolate to on an annual basis? So if we look at age 68, Plan G is $226.11. Plan N is $208.28. That's a monthly difference of $17.84. An annual difference of $214.02. Well, that's $200. That's 10 office copays at $20, or 5 ER visits and 5 office visits that you would need to spend before the cost of your healthcare services plus the premium of Plan N equals Plan G. For some people that don't use healthcare services very often, you go a couple times a year, get your annual physical, nothing major going on, you can definitely save money with Plan N. Now, for those people that are dealing with chronic illnesses, or they just need to get rechecked for different things that have happened in their life, Plan G may be a better bet. But of course, whether it's G or N, you still have to go through that Part B deductible of $257 for 2025, and then Plan G will cover all the office expenses and or emergency room visits, whereas you're going to have to make co-payments with Plan N. So that's where each individual needs to look at their particular situation and see, well, maybe Plan N does going to save some money over the long run, because if you're hardly ever going to see the doctor, and you're saving $200 a year or thereabouts, you're looking at over several years, you're looking at $1,000 or $2,000. So that can be significant. So that's kind of the differences between Plan N and Plan G. And certainly G is going to do a better job of covering all of those expenses, but Plan N, because of its lower rate, can help people out. So if you have any questions or comments, you may leave those down below. And I think the Blue Jays are certainly chiming in, so I will need to answer their comments as well as best I can. And for InsureMeKevin.com, I'm Kevin Knaus.